This is Elizabeth Baldwin from PVMS Skyhawk News. Today I'm with
Janice Baldwin.
I am so thankful that you have came. So today we'll be talking about traveling. Okay. Can I ask you some questions?
Sure. Be glad to answer.
First question. How often do you travel?
Mm, Probably 2 or 3 times a year, most often
Wow.
twice.
Mhm.
COVID slowed things down,
Mhm.
but normally probably twice a year.
Mhm. How do you budget your money when you travel?
I always set aside enough to keep us where we don't want to debt to travel,
Mhm.
but that it can bless us and that I have a budget that I set aside when I know where I'm going to go. And I try to put that aside and use whatever I've budgeted in there for travel alone.
Okay, that's amazing. Do you usually travel by plane or by car?
By car. Yes, we have a big transit, and I love to travel with a big transit. Everyone fits comfortably.
That's really interesting. What is a place that you really love going to?
Oh, there's so many. It's such a good question, Elizabeth. Um, I love traveling. Some of my favorite places are Florida, Pensacola Beach, and
Mhm.
throughout Florida. And I love traveling to Canada, Quebec City, Canada was a real gem.
Wow, that's cool.
And I love traveling in Europe.
Hmm.
And the Vatican's one of my favorite places to go.
That's amazing. How many places, countries or states have you been to in your entire life?
Oh, I have no idea. What a good question. I really have no idea. Um, I started off trying to see the places I thought I would not get to see in my lifetime, like Russia. And then after having children, then Hawaii and Alaska, and then kind of scaled back down uh, to Europe a second time,
Hmm.
and just tried to see as many places as I could. I still haven't seen India, and I would really love to travel to India, and that's probably going to be on my. I would like to go to Africa. Haven't been there yet, so I say yet because I'm planning on doing it, and then setting goals ahead. I'd like to go back to the Vatican again in 40 years, just setting future goals.
That's really good. Um, so perhaps how much do you spend on one vacation, do you think?
Over the years, it's changed tremendously.
Hmm.
We started off many years ago traveling into Europe, and it would cost maybe $6,000 for two to stay 3 weeks in Europe. It's gone up so much, and today it's more expensive to travel and get a
Hmm.
hotel in most countries in Europe than it is in the United States, unless you really budget. And you can do it. I like
Hmm.
the excitement of trying to make it happen. Um, so yeah, I plan it out and set aside what amount might be needed, and then use that so that I don't feel like I'm struggling with cost, toward the
Hmm.
end. And it varies. It's gone up so much in the past years. Right
Hmm.
now, food in Europe is more expensive to purchase than food in America for the most part, but
Hmm.
only slightly. You can find places and make it happen.
That's wonderful. Um, uh, what make how did COVID impact you when you on traveling?
Hugely. For a year and a half, we didn't travel, um, not out of the the house hardly for so much homeschool 7, for at least a year and a half, I guess. Um, but then when we did get out, we were just so gung ho and seeing some things we haven't seen
Hmm.
before, and went all the way from Little Rock to the Atlantic Ocean, Virginia, Chesapeake Bay area, and throughout North Carolina and Washington, D.C. Loved it. It just made us all the more ready for a road trip. And that was a month-long road trip. It was awesome.
What was your previous travel?
Before I was married, or before
Like
having children,
present.
before COVID. Oh, before COVID, we would take at least Thanksgiving week and go to Florida. And there's no place like the ocean. It's my favorite. It's my favorite places. And of course, take all the kids with us. And what a joy. So that was really one of my favorite places, and still is. Other than that, we would love to take a long trip. We love theme parks, Six Flags, and not just one. We have to do several, maybe 4 different states, just enjoy. The biggest thing I think is the adventure of it all. And we go to Branson and Missouri a lot on just small trips. I don't count those as big trips. That's just for fun.
Thank you so much for being here and spending your time answering some of my questions.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I've enjoyed the interview.
So have I. Well, that's all for today. Have a great Thanksgiving break and happy Thanksgiving. Your local Asian is out.